So I'm making a video for 8.1, 1G. I'll show you two methods of doing this. First method is my method that you just use sum and products. So having a look at this, you will know that the two factors, when you times them, it's going to be x times x in order to get that one. Okay, that one's not too hard. In order to get 6, I look at the product. Okay, I write all of my options down. So 1 times 6 or 2 times 3 as my options. Now what I need to do is figure out which ones I can add in order to get this minus 5. So obviously, having that into consideration, if you have a look at this number, do you see how it's a positive 6? So your options are, it's either always going to be 2 positives or it's always going to be 2 negatives. So maybe I'll write all of the options just so you can have a look at it more clearly. Maybe I'll write it in all the same colour. So when I add them together, plus 3, minus, which row adds up to minus 5 is what we're trying to find. So if I do this one, 1 plus 6 is 7, minus 1 take 6 is minus 7, 2 plus 3 is 5, this one's minus 5. So as hopefully you can see, this one is your option, and the more you do it, you'll be able to do, not do this whole process and just be able to kind of figure it out. But in the meantime, you have to write all the options and figure out the sum and product option. So here's your factorization, and then you just got to solve it. So this becomes a equals 0, that becomes b equals 0. So your options are x take 2 equals 0, which means x equals 2, or x take 3 equals 0, meaning x equals 3. Those are your two final answers. Alright, let me show you the method 2 that I kind of explained to you in class one day. So I think the method was, you have to consider ax squared plus bx plus c, and you just have to kind of times the a and c together and find the factors. So if I have a look at our equation, x squared take 5x plus 6, my c is number 6, my a is number 1, which is just invisible. So if I times 6 times 1, that's the factor I'm trying to find the numbers for, which is going to be 1, 6, 2, 3. So it's kind of a similar process. And then all I have to do is add them together or take them in order to figure out what my differences are. So I think actually, what was it? You add them together, so it's a 7. This one's a 5, so you just got to know that it's going to be this option, and then you figure out that it's going to have negatives because it's a negative inside. So that one's pretty similar. This method is easiest when your a becomes a big number. So if you can use method, number 1, you don't have to figure out the whole factors and stuff, but it's pretty similar. So even with this, x take 2 is 0, so x equals 2, or this option is 0. So those are your two options, which gives you the same answers.